First is 2023 Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Did it beat expectations?
Yes.
Okay.
Short answer is yes.
Yes. By how much?
And so we changed strategy year over year. Last year was all about growth primarily, and we were still decently profitable. This year, we actually took a different approach of trying to maximize EBITDA and actually do it. And so we spent a little bit more conservatively than we did year over year, and had by far the most profitable month in the company history by kind of like a large margin, and still generated over $30 million in top line sales.
Damn. Just for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, or
no, the month of November. Sorry,
wow.
Just to be clear.
The month 30 million. Oh my God. Okay. And was 2023 30 million larger than 2022 top line November?
Yes, still larger. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. When you say you spent more conservatively, let me ask you a quick question. What does that mean? Like, do you talk about spend during is Black Friday spend confined to sort of like the Black Friday sale, or do you start spending in October trying to grow your list and get people excited? When does Black Friday spend start?
Yeah, so we started this year, I guess, in line with a lot of other brands a lot earlier. And I feel like every year just keeps moving up. I feel like next year, maybe we start Black Friday in like September, But this year we started the sale on November 2nd. And we were like, listen, we're going to be there whenever the shoppers is at. And people start shopping much earlier, it turns out. And you may as well just have your best foot forward with the great offer. So technically, November spend started earlier in November. But then we really ramped it up Thursday night, and then obviously going into Friday. And when we look at like how much to spend, we have those crazy intraday monitors. It's almost like we're trading stocks or something. And we just look at like hourly pacing of what's coming in. Where are we on profitability, like intraday in terms of like contribution profit percentages, and then looking at other indicators like last click attribution, just to make sure we're not pushing on some channels that are not really driving in the moment action and traction. And we every day have we meet like 6 a.m, 8 a.m, 10 noon, like every 2 hours, and we just talk about like where are we currently trending. And to us, the two things that matter is top line revenue, or for us, net revenue of all the discounts and returns and stuff like that.
Sure.
And then bottom line EBITDA. And so, and then we just keep reprojecting that. So we say, okay, if we were to push another 100 grand on Meta, where are we landing today? And what happens kind of like over the 5 days? So that's how we kind of like run the show. And it's very intense, but honestly, the best 5 days of the year, the most fun I have on this job.
I always remembered you said last time we chatted that you had no marketing budget. You're like, we will spend as long as we're profitable. And it sounds like even on Black Friday, you come in with a pretty blank dry erase board. And you're like, look, you're not like, we're going to spend this much on Black Friday. You're like, even intraday, every 2 hours, you're making decisions. Did you generally push up spend? Did you push down spend? Like, do you remember what it was at 8 a.m., 10 a.m., 12 noon? Was it up, or were you like, let's push the pedal down further? Or were you like, let's let off a little bit?
What we do is we're trying to find this, like, so the one liner I always give brands, which I think is important to understand and go for, is like optimize for marginal incremental contribution profit, right? That's the one liner. Marginal being the last dollar versus the average, which is very different, and incremental being truly driving it as opposed to attributed. And then contribution profit is what, is the best indicator, taking all the variable costs and structure into account. So that's what we're after. And so we start the day, and then we look and say, okay, overall, on let's just say a last click basis, it looks really strong, right? We are, let's just say, bullish. And so we're starting to push a little bit more. When we do, what we have on Triple Well as an example is like the actual blended contribution profit trending over by the hour of the day. If that doesn't net out, contribution profit hourly starts kind of like falling short of expectations. I don't see the return on a marginal basis of this extra push. I will choose to pull back, right? Yes. Because I'm like, I just pushed and it just doesn't net out on the intraday. And so we do this push and pull. And so certain channels, we start a little bit more aggressive and had to pull back. Other tactics we had better success with. Frankly, for us on Meta specifically, like ASC seems to take a little bit of a backer seat, and CBO starts to perform again super well. So there were some even within the channel, like certain tactics we bet on, kind of like disappointed. So we kind of like shifted budget to others. But we take that super tactically and not necessarily, to your point, like no budget set other than the goal is to maximize contribution profit throughout the day. And that's how we go about that.
So intraday though, like you're looking at ads and you're like at 10 a.m., okay, it looks like we can spend more maybe on Meta. let's do it. Is that the discussion that you guys have at the 10 a.m. meeting?
Correct. Yeah. And then we say like how much, and then we make a prediction, and then we want to see if we're good at that prediction. So we keep calibrating ourselves. And it's not to say that we know, what the future holds, but it's good for you to have name the number, right? Like, hey, if I were to spend another 100 grand, like I believe that's going to net us another 150 or whatever the case might be, like name it, right? And then see what happens and learn, I overstated, I understated. It really helps you refine this like forecasting skills. And I think as a media buyer, if you just spend without knowing what to expect to come back, it's just not great practice, right? So we are all challenging ourselves to, be better at forecasting.